I may be wrong, but I would say you're probably lucky to be alive.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the classic disaster flicks that we feel deserve a little more love. This could be due to an initially poor reception or other factors that led to these films falling through the cracks.
Yes, I understand. I do apologize, but what I'm about to tell you is something quite horrific.
Number 10, The Core.
You want me to hack the planet? He wants me to hack the planet.
Disaster movies by design usually require at least some suspension of disbelief. This is to achieve the proper mood for all of the cinematic chaos that's likely to get thrown our way. Actively behaving in this fashion is the best way to view 2003's The Core, at least in our opinion.
You guys are our resident geophysicists. What do you make of this?
The mantle is a chemical hodgepodge of a variety of elements.
Say it with me. I don't know.
The film's premise of actually drilling to the Earth's core to kickstart our planet into rotating again is pretty heavy duty. As a result, one simply has to be on board with this level of ridiculousness to roll with The Core. And you know what? The film delivers, thanks largely to an ensemble cast that lends The Core an air of legitimacy that warrants a revisit.
And we outrun the biggest nuclear shockwave in history.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be fairly simple.
Number 9, Meteor.
Orpheus is 5 miles wide. Its striking force is equal to 2,500,000 megatons of TNT.
The 1970s was unequivocally a halcyon decade for the disaster film. It's here where the genre's most well-known tropes and cinematic tendencies were codified for a popular audience. That said, there's still some underrated gold to be mined from this period, such as 1979's Meteor.
And by that time, the meteor will have hit, and we won't have any more problems.
If you think that the idea of an asteroid on a collision course with Earth originated with Armageddon in 1998, then think again. Meteor brought this plot point to the silver screen 20 years earlier and added to it the political complexities of the Cold War. Tensions and secrets between world superpowers rise to the forefront as the entire world teeters on the brink. And this excitement immensely helps Meteor. It's an underseen late-cycle romp.
It would throw into the atmosphere 5 billion tons of Earth and reduce solar radiation for decades to come. It could cause another ice age.
Number 8, The Perfect Storm.
It would be the perfect storm.
A good disaster movie doesn't necessarily require an outlandish plot to get its point across. Director Wolfgang Petersen helmed The Perfect Storm in 2000, and did so in a way that made the film feel simultaneously grounded and dangerous. Setting The Perfect Storm out on the open water and basing it on true events raises the stakes and makes us want to see the protagonists through their ordeal.
Bobby, I'm sorry I got you this.
This isn't just a calamity out of our control, it's the unpredictability of Mother Nature herself. The Perfect Storm also boasts strong, memorable performances from its cast and special effects that truly take us to the middle of a disaster. Critics may have felt mixed, but we defend this perfectly satisfying flick.
There is no headstone on which to rest a bunch of flowers. The only place we can revisit them is in our hearts or in our dreams.
Number 7, Deep Impact.
Hey, look at the bright side. We'll all have high schools named after us.
It isn't an asteroid, but a comet that threatens the Earth in 1998's Deep Impact. This traditional disaster movie plot might have fallen into self-parody under less steady hands, and truthfully it almost does. But Deep Impact holds tight. Of course, it helps that the film is anchored by strong actors like Robert Duvall, Téa Leoni, Morgan Freeman, and Elijah Wood, all of which help elevate the script.
I'm the famous Leo Biederman, and I haven't used my fame for anything. But I got them to let your family go too.
The special effects are also solid for the time, assisted by a Spielbergian budget of $80 million. Deep Impact may be an also-ran from the late 90s disaster cycle, but we feel that it bears up better than most with repeat viewings.
Life will go on. We will prevail.
Number 6, The Andromeda Strain.
Most of them died instantly, but a few had time to go quietly nuts.
Hard sci-fi collides with disaster movie drama in 1971's The Andromeda Strain. The film is based on a novel by Jurassic Park author Michael Crichton and brings with it an intelligent take on an invasive alien species. The special effects by Douglas Trumbull of 2001: A Space Odyssey fame work hand in hand with a creepy, minimalistic score by jazzman Gil Malay.
During this symposium, we'll discuss the possibility that intelligent life on a distant planet may be no larger than a flea.
Malay's work in particular utilizes an electronic pulse to underline the growing threat that lurks under the surface of the Andromeda strain. It's a bit unconventional, but thoroughly engaging and unique.
As far as Andromeda is concerned, yes. We have the organism at Wildfire, and we continue to study it. We now know beyond a doubt that other forms of life exist in the universe.
Number 5. Mars Attacks.
For dark is the swathe that mows like a harvest.
What the hell does that mean?
The humor that's often found within disaster flicks doesn't always have to be unintentional. Tim Burton's work on 1996's Mars Attacks projects a self-aware sensibility without a hint of condescension. It's also something of an undermentioned entry in Burton's filmography.
I want the people to know that they still have 2 out of 3 branches of the government working for them, and that ain't bad.
Mars Attacks celebrates the macabre Topps trading card set from the 1960s with a sly wink. Additionally, the violence often feels sudden, but also exaggerated and funny. Humanity is pretty much foobar from the get-go as a Martian invasion goes south for nearly everyone involved, with hilarious results.
I'm not going to have that thing in my house.
Sweetie, we may have to. The people expect me to meet with them.
Well, they're not going to eat off the Van Buren China.
Number 4. The China Syndrome.
That's true. Then we came very close to the China Syndrome.
Timing was everything when it came to the theatrical success of 1979's The China Syndrome. The film was removed from that year's infamous 3 Mile Island nuclear disaster by less than 2 weeks, echoing its own plot about an atomic cover-up. China Syndrome boasts some serious star power in the form of Jane Fonda, Michael Douglas, and Jack Lemmon, while also straddling the line between political thriller and disaster flick.
It's the China Syndrome.
That's possible.
As a result, there's less cheese here and more tension, as the truth behind the Ventana nuclear power plant threatens to bubble up to a complete meltdown. The China Syndrome stands out from other disaster flicks for exactly this reason.
And it melts right down through the bottom of the plant, theoretically to China. But of course, as soon as it hits groundwater, it blasts into the atmosphere and sends out clouds of radioactivity.
Number 3. Deepwater Horizon.
I don't know. I don't think they did it. I just woke up, so...
Is that stupid?
I don't know if it's stupid, but it's smart.
Disaster movies never really go away, they just wait for a new cycle to begin. 2016's Deepwater Horizon was something of an outlier, however, since it riffs upon a very specific real-life event. The film dramatizes the 2010 Deepwater Horizon drilling rig explosion, and was something of a box office bomb during its initial release.
You sent the testing team home before they could do their job. Maybe give y'all some news y'all didn't want to hear.
Yet, lead Mark Wahlberg feels game for the task of recreating the biggest environmental disaster in the history of the United States. It's a big job, and Deepwater Horizon boasts big special effects to express the disastrous ramifications of the explosion. The critics seemed to like this one at the time.
They're on the Deepwater Horizon because there are so many rigs out there. You sure?
Yes, it is a fire on the Deepwater Horizon. That's all I can say, ma'am. I'm sorry. I really have to go.
Number 2, Miracle Mile.
What it is? A meltdown? Yeah, it is.
What would you do if you knew the world was going to end? Director Steve DeJarnett asks this question and more with his imaginatively unique film from 1988, Miracle Mile. The results are a tale of new love and heartbreak, told in real time as nuclear Armageddon looms over the world. There's serious darkness that looms over Miracle Mile, a fatalistic story with some tragic deaths along the way.
Look at that baby go!
Yet hope still springs within the relationship between Harry and Julie, despite the threat of mutually assured destruction. The soundtrack of Tangerine Dream serves as the perfect backdrop to the dreamlike weirdness of Miracle Mile, tying together threads for a disaster film that's truly unlike any other.
I'm sorry, Dad. I shouldn't swear. I'm sorry, but this is it. This is really it. This is the big one.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Only the Brave.
Fire's picking up and it's moving towards my location.
Okay, time for you to get out of there, Donut.
Real-life heroes are at the center of 2017's Only the Brave. The film bombed at the box office, but critics were largely more kind to this adaptation of the Granite Mountain Hotshots. This group of Arizona-based firefighters lost nearly all of their numbers, staving off the Yarnell Hill fire in 2013, and Only the Brave details their tragic tale.
Fire's making a run toward our line. By the time she gets here, she's going to be too strong to hold.
The release timing may have initially been off with Only the Brave. Yet we celebrate how Only the Brave lauds those everyday superheroes who live and work in towns all across the world. Don't sleep on this one.
Okay, I'm here with Granite Mountain Hotshots, and our escape route has been cut off. Okay. We are preparing a deployment site.
What's your favorite disaster flick? Let us know in the comments.
I think it's the insect's turn.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.